On January 24th, 2026, Minneapolis was thrust back into the national spotlight after federal immigration agents fatally shot 37-year-old Alex Pretti, an intensive care unit nurse and U.S. citizen, in South Minneapolis during a large-scale immigration enforcement operation. Who was Alex Pretti? Alex Pretti was a dedicated intensive care nurse at the Minneapolis Veterans Affairs healthcare system, where colleagues described him as compassionate, calm, and deeply committed to helping others, particularly U.S. military veterans. He had a wife and family, and colleagues remember him as warm and generous with his time. Pretti had no serious criminal history and was known primarily for his work in healthcare. He was also a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry a handgun, though family members and bystanders say they never saw him carry it publicly. What happened on January 24th? Around 9:05 a.m. local time on Saturday, January 24th, hundreds of federal immigration agents, including U.S. Border Patrol officers, were conducting enforcement operations in Minneapolis as part of a wider crackdown that had already included the fatal shooting of another resident earlier in the month. According to federal officials, Pretti approached officers with a 9mm handgun and resisted attempts to disarm him, prompting one agent to fire in self-defense. The Department of Homeland Security characterized the shots as defensive. Conflicting accounts and video evidence. Eyewitness and bystander videos, verified by multiple news organizations, show a very different sequence of events from the federal account. In the footage, Pretti initially appears to be filming agents with his cell phone and is not visibly brandishing a weapon. Agents are seen spraying him with chemical irritants and wrestling him to the ground. Several agents pin him down, and at least one agent retrieves a firearm during the struggle. A volley of multiple shots, at least 10 within seconds, is heard while Pretti is on or near the ground. Eyewitness statements and independent video analysis cast doubt on the federal narrative, with some suggesting the shooting occurred after Pretti had already been subdued. Community and official reaction. Local officials, including Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara, confirmed Pretti was an American citizen and lawful gun owner with no significant criminal history. O'Hara also said that investigators face restrictions in accessing the shooting scene immediately after the incident. Protests erupted across Minneapolis and beyond within hours of the shooting, with demonstrators decrying the use of lethal force by federal agents and demanding a full, independent investigation. Rallying cries included calls to end federal immigration enforcement operations in the city. Pretti's family released a statement saying they were heartbroken and angry, disputing the federal portrayal of him as a threat and describing the official narrative as sickening lies, asserting he was trying to shield another person when he was killed. The shooting of Alex Pretti marked the second controversial fatal federal shooting in Minneapolis within weeks, following the January 7th killing of Renee Good by an ICU officer. Both incidents have intensified scrutiny of federal immigration enforcement tactics under the current administration, amplified concerns about civil rights and law enforcement accountability, and sparked nationwide debate. Nationwide protests have drawn participants from across the political spectrum, from civil liberties advocates decrying federal overreach to supporters of strong immigration enforcement. Calls for transparency, independent investigation, and structural reform of federal law enforcement agencies have multiplied in the wake of Pretti's death. What comes next? Investigations into shooting are ongoing, with local and state officials seeking access to evidence and federal authorities defending the actions of agents. The case continues to resonate beyond Minneapolis, becoming a flashpoint in discussions about policing, civil liberties, and the oversight of powerful federal enforcement agencies.